Hey guys, how's it going? So today I wanted to show you guys all my gear and weapons that I have on currently. I'm going to show you guys how I've geared up over time and what I've managed to accumulate. So right now these are currently my stats with my AK-74. I have 150, almost 151,000 DPS. I have 83,400 health and I have 17,000 skill power. And in more detail, my firearms are 2681, stamina is 2762, and electronics is 1038. And now I think my build is kind of interesting because it's maybe what people usually go to start out with, but as people fine tune their build, they usually pick either a glass cannon build or a firearms build, as some people call it, or some people usually pick a stamina build or a tank build. And what I've tried to pretty much do is keep everything balanced. And so I'm not really picking any one of those builds, but I'm just keeping everything at a good balance to where I'm not amazing at anything, but I'm good at everything. And so to keep this balance, I've actually done a couple things. With my gear at least, I have all stamina mods. So all these high-end mods are stamina mods, and that increases my health by about a total of 18,000, and that's just including the mods. And then I also have a balanced amount of gear going into firearms and stamina, making them pretty equal at 26 or 2700. And one of the big contributors to why I have so much skill power is that I have a major attribute here that almost gives me 5,000 skill power on my backpack. And this is pretty good because if I didn't have this, my skill power would be pretty low. It'd be around 12,000. And so I wouldn't really think that's very balanced anymore. So I am happy that I have this major attribute here. But anyway, that was about how I keep my gear balanced a little bit. We might go into it a bit more, but first I want to cover my weapons. So with the AK-74 I have right here, the black market version, I did buy this from the special gear vendor here in the base of operations, and I rolled it until I got something I liked. And so the talents I have is Unforgiving, I have Destructive, and also Brutal. And I think this is a great PvE and PvP build. And I say PvP because I have Unforgiving, and so the lower my health gets, the more damage I do. And obviously Destructive is great for PvE because I can destroy armor 18% faster with this weapon. And obviously Brutal is going to work in both PvE and PvP because it just increases the headshot damage of this weapon overall. Moving on to the attachments, I have a extended magazine. It's a high end, and I increased my magazine size by 101.5%, so this puts it up to 60 bullets in the mag, and a rate of fire of 26% increase, and I think this puts the rate of fire to 756, and it's originally 600. And for the optics, I have a CQB-SS scope. I bought this from the special gear vendor. I have a 21.5% headshot damage increase as well as 8% critical hit chance. And for the muzzle, I have a 34.5% stability and plus 35% critical hit damage. And the little bit of crit chance I have in this weapon actually comes in a lot of handy when used in conjunction with the pulse, because obviously the crit chance as well as the damage increases. So I can hit somewhere between a 60 and 80k critical with the AK-74 as of now. And for the underbarrel, I have a 18% accuracy and 30.5 stability. Now for my Police Mark 17, I did a video on this weapon, and it's interesting because there's a little bit of a glitch going on, but basically what I showed in the video dedicated to this gun is it actually had over 200,000 DPS, and it was a pretty recent video, so if you want to watch that, definitely go check it out. But basically what happens is if I switch these weapons, you can see the DPS changes. So let me switch it again. You see my AK-74 has 150k DPS, and when I go ahead and switch it, it has 209,000. So clearly there's something weird here, and I'm not going to go too into it, but if you look at the accuracy on the AK-74 when I switch them, so here it is right now, and you can see as I switch it, the accuracy goes up. And from this happening, the DPS actually increases as well. So this is a bit of a bug right now, and basically I have to keep it in this order right here in order for it to show the actual DPS. But casting all that aside, I have the Police Mark 17. I did buy this once again from the special gear vendor, and I re-rolled it to get some pretty insane talents. I have balanced, accurate, and proficient, and mainly balanced and accurate just increase my accuracy to 100%, and it's interesting because it does this without even adding any mods. So what's interesting about the Mark 17 here is when you have balanced and accurate as the talents, it actually kind of glitches or bugs, and it puts the accuracy sometimes as over 100%, and with all the mods attached, it actually can be around 150% accuracy. So that doesn't really make any sense if you're firing one bullet. You can't hit really more than one target. But anyway, having 150% accuracy definitely messes with the DPS number here. So sometimes it could be inaccurate, as I said before. But once again, my talents are balanced and accurate. And this is really great for the gun because it actually makes it so it has no reticle bloom, or to where the reticle doesn't extend or grow at all. So all you really have to do when using this weapon is put the reticle over an enemy's head, and if they're not moving at all, you can just pretty much fire the gun as fast as you possibly can, and you're going to land all headshots and headshot crits. And with a 38 round magazine, this is actually really powerful, and you can take out usually 1 or 2 level 32 elites with a single magazine. So overall with my weapons, I'm very happy with their performance, and I can pretty much chew through PvE enemies really easily. And you guys probably don't care much about my sidearm, but it's just a double barrel sawed-off shotgun, and I really don't use this at all, so it doesn't really matter too much. Alright, so now that we've finished the weapons, we can actually look at the gear. So for my chest plate, my talent is Rapid, which decreases cooldown for healing skills by 13%. And I think this is useful because I run the medkit skill, and so that decreases the cooldown by 13%. In addition, it's a firearms chest plate, so I get my firearms up a little bit. I have a stamina mod. I have an increase in armor and ammo capacity, and obviously that one mod slot I use for stamina, so 143 stamina is actually the maximum you can get on a stamina mod, so that's very good. And then I have that minor bonus on the mod as well. So overall, really great tactical vest that I have, really high armor, and a pretty high stats for firearms. Now for my mask, I have Tenacious, increases damage by 9.5% for 10 seconds when using a medkit. And you'll notice I have an insane amount of stamina on this mask, and that's because I have 2 mod slots, as well as it's a base stamina increasing mask. So I have somewhere around 500 or 525 stamina on the mask, and then I have actually 2 stamina mods as well. And now for my knee pads, I have Perceptive, which increases credit find bonuses by 25%. I have a firearms stat on here, and most importantly, I have a critical hit damage plus 16%, and then also I have a 8% pulse critical hit damage, and I don't usually use pulse, but sometimes I switch to the skill, and then that becomes very useful. Now for my backpack, I have Inventive, so increases skill power by 13% while at full health. And that talent's not too great because as soon as you take the first hit, you kind of lose some increase in skill power, but I have a stamina stat on this one of 707. Once again, my increase in skill power of 5,000, so that's very good. Minor attributes of plus 42% ammo capacity, and if you recall, my chest plate had plus 43% ammo capacity, so overall I have plus 85% ammo capacity, and this adds about 600 rounds to my AK-74's capacity overall. And last but not least, I have a stamina mod on this one as well, and it also gives me a skill haste bonus. Now for my gloves, I have the talent Savage. Critical hit chance is increased by 13% against targets out of cover, and this talent's actually really good because it comes in handy in the dark zone, because usually targets are out of cover, including players. And also I have some firearms stat on this one. Assault rifle damage definitely comes in handy with my AK-74. Critical hit damage, great for the DPS, and health on kill is great for keeping you alive. So overall, another piece of gear I'm very happy to have, and it has many great bonuses on it. And lastly for my gear, I have my holster here, and this was recently acquired by myself from the special gear vendor, and it's the Spec Ops holster. If you go into the special gear vendor, it's the first high-end holster you can buy, and it's I think somewhere around 80 or 90 Phoenix credits, and it's actually very good. And as you can see, it's definitely better than the retention holster I had earlier, so it may not be better than yours right now considering what you may have, but it's definitely better than what I had, so that's why I say it's very good. It was definitely a good buy for me at least, but the talent on it is nimble, so heal 2% of max health for every 1 meter run in cover to cover during combat. As usual, I have all 3 stats on here for firearms, stamina, and electronics. And then I have that skill attribute for turret duration, which I don't personally use. And then I also have a stamina mod, increasing my stamina and armor. So this is currently my build as it stands right now. I'm just running an assault rifle and marksman rifle, and all stamina mods. And so overall I think I've done a good job of keeping a good balance between my DPS, health, and skill power. And before I end the video, I do want to point out something that may come in handy in the actual incursion, and also it's just what I've noticed in the Dark Zone usually, is with my ammo capacity minor attributes here, these actually come in more handy than you think, because often enough, and it happens to my friends as well, when we're running in the Dark Zone, we have to go back to safe houses pretty often because either I or all my friends run out of ammo. And so it was actually a real problem, because before I had this chest plate and the backpack, which I both re-rolled to have ammo capacity, I was actually holding under 700 rounds with my AK-74, and now I'm holding over, I think, 1,000, so I'm holding 1,064, and so that's actually a huge increase. And so ammo capacity is definitely overlooked in my opinion, and it really shouldn't be, because it's one of the things that keeps you shooting and keeps you alive mainly. So if you have some extra Phoenix credits, I would highly recommend that you try and re-roll any of your pieces of gear to have a higher ammo capacity, because we don't really know how many restocking boxes there will be in the incursion, and we do know it's a longer mission, so that may come in handy to have some extra ammo at hand. So yeah guys, this is my current build as it stands right now. Feel free to compare your build to mine, and I'm actually curious to see what kind of build you guys are running, so make sure you leave that down in the comments section below. And also, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave that in the comments section below as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.